Hello everyone, this is Chelsea and this video is going to be all about measuring in inches. So this is something that we've already done in our OSES class, but this video is just going to be a refresher for you so that you know what you're doing when you go to do the worksheets that I emailed you. Okay, so here on my paper I have an inch that is blown up to be bigger. And remember from class, we talked about how every inch is broken up into parts, which are represented by fractions. So each inch has 16 parts in total. Okay, so let's just pretend that this is the first tick on our ruler, and we can say that's the starting point, so we can just call that 0. Because there's no measurement in between. That's just our starting point. Okay, next we'll go on to our first tick, and remember all of the ticks are 16 in total, so that means that the bottom number of our fraction, there we go, is going to be 16. Now this is tick number 1 out of 16 ticks in total, so that means we're going to have 1 out of 16. Now I made a little note down here that anytime we have an odd number on top of our fraction, we don't reduce. So that means that this fraction is just going to stay the way it is. Okay, now let's go on to the next one. This one is tick number 2 out of 16. So we have 2 over 16. Okay, now even number on top, remember that means that we do have to reduce. Anytime we have an even number over 16, we can reduce that fraction. So that means that we divide, and remember if you're having trouble reducing the fractions here, you can always take a look at the reducing fractions video that I'll also send you. So 2 divided by 2 and 16 divided by 2, that is how we would reduce this fraction. So that means that this fraction turns into 1 over 8. Alright, next one is 3 over 16. It's an odd number, so we don't change anything. The next one is 4 out of 16. Now again, we have that even number on the top. That means we need to reduce. And so 4 over 16, we can divide both these numbers by 4, and that's going to give us 1 over 4, 1/4 or 1/4. Alright, from there we have 5 over 16, that one stays the same. 6 over 16, that can be reduced. We're going to divide by 2, and we're going to get 3/8 for that one. Alright, next one is 7 over 16, stays the same. 8 over 16, this is our tick that's right in the middle of our inch, and so you know that it's probably going to be half, right? And so we can divide 8 divided by 8, 16 divided by 8, and we'll get 1 over 2. Next one, 9 over 16. Next one after that is 10 over 16. That's going to reduce. Divide both those numbers by 2, and we get 5/8. Then we have 11 over 16, followed by 12 over 16. Reduce that one, of course, and we can divide that one by 4. Divide by 4 on the top and the bottom, and that way we get 3 over 4, or 3/4. 13 over 16 is the next one. 14 over 16 after that, which again we can divide by 2, and so we get 7/8. Then 15 over 16. There we go. And then lastly, the end of our inch, we have 16 out of 16 ticks. And of course we know that 1 full inch is just going to be one whole number. So we can also think that 16 over 16, we have the same number on the top and the bottom. That means that we have a whole number. And so then that's just going to be 1. 1 full inch. Okay, so you can refer back to this chart whenever you are doing any numeracy, whenever you're doing any of your worksheets that I sent you. Take a look at this. You can take a picture of it, you can screenshot it, you can draw it yourself. That way you have it to refer back to. Alright, so next we're going to do just a few examples here of one type of worksheet that you might get. So this one here is asking us to measure the bars. And so some of the worksheets have rulers right on the page, and so you don't even need your own ruler. Some of them might be just like this, and so you'll want to take your own ruler to measure them with. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler, we're going to line it up so that the beginning part is at 0, or the beginning of our ruler. Remember, the beginning of our ruler, where we start to measure from, is not the very end of the ruler, because this here is not a tick. The tick starts a little bit in, right there. So remember to always line it up with the tick, not the beginning of the ruler. Okay, so I'm going to line this up here, just like that. There we go. And so now, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the whole numbers. So I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I get up to 3. I'll zoom that in a bit so that you can see it a little better. There we go. And there it is right there. Okay, so I get up to 3. That's going to be my whole number in my fraction, the big number. But I also have a little bit left over afterwards, a couple ticks after the 3. That's going to be my fraction. Okay, so I have 3, and then it looks like I have 2 ticks afterwards. So that means it's going to be 2 out of 16 left over. Now, remember from before, anytime we have an even number on top, that means we have to reduce. And so we can always take a look back at our measuring in inches, and we can look and we can try to find 2 over 16. There it is. And so then we know that that one changes into 1/8. So I'm going to do the same over here on my worksheet. That means that 3 and 2/16 is going to equal 3 still. The big number doesn't change. Our fraction reduces to 1/8 though. And then that's it. That's our answer for that one. So now let's go on to another example. Do the next one. Again, I'm going to line it up with the beginning tick. Okay, and it looks like this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as our big number, but then it goes a little bit past the 5, right? We have this 1 tick that goes past it. So that means that it's going to be 5 and 1 out of 16. Now we have an odd number at the top. That means that we don't reduce, and so then this is our final answer. Okay, next one. So again, we're measuring. And sometimes on your worksheets, you might find that the bar doesn't start right from 0. Maybe it'll start all the way over here, right? And so you just really want to start wherever the even, or wherever like the big number is. Let's say it's over here. You want to start there, and then you still want to count that as 0. So even though it says 3, that's the starting point, right? And so we don't count it 3 already because the bar isn't over this way. We would count this as 0, and then we would count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right? Because 4 whole inches from here, 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 and here. 4 is our big number. And now we count the ticks after that. So 1, 2, 3 ticks altogether after that whole number there. So that means we have 3 over 16. And that's an odd number, so we're done. Okay, let's do the one last one here. So I'll move it back to the beginning. I just wanted to show you that really quick. And again, I'm going to line it up just like that. And now this one doesn't have a whole number because this bar does not reach 1 whole inch. So you're not going to have a big number like you did with these ones. You're just going to have the fraction part. So we need to count the ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It looks like we get 14 out of 16 here. But of course I'm not done because that's an even number. So I'm going to go back to my chart here. I'm going to find 14 over 16, there it is. And I'm just going to go down and, oh, I know that that reduces to 7/8. So 7/8, that's going to be my measurement for that one. All right, and I think that's really all you need for measuring. Some of your worksheets are going to be a little bit different than these exact examples that I showed you, but hopefully you're able to just use your chart that we went over before, and then you'll be just fine. If you have any questions at all, make sure to email me on my OFE email, and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And just try your best. All right, good luck everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.